Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Hope you're doing all right out there. Hope your day is going to be a good one, and you're going to have a great weekend this weekend. We got to get through Friday before we can enjoy it. It is Friday, January the 20th, 2023, and this is option expiry day for the third Friday in January. So this is the big one here. We get 12 of these a year, a lot of options expiring today, and we will be watching that. Volatility could well be in play here. I do expect some of that. How much we'll wait to see. We are seeing some green this morning. Should that come as a surprise? We've had down days all week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's been negative here with the Dow off now at 1,200, 1,300 points this week. Our friends at the S&P and NASDAQ have been following suit. Maybe we're a little oversold this week. Maybe we've had a little too much of a downward negative reaction. But does it matter as option writers? No. If you're an option writer, do you care? You don't have to really care. You're concerned about a down market, but you're making money, and that is the bottom line. Those of you who write options all the time now, you have figured something out. You figured out that, well, I just do what the market wants to do. I don't even have to guess. I don't have to take a coin and flip it in the air and figure out what the direction the market's going. I just kind of go with it. The stock that I write options on wants to go higher. Okay, I can't stop it to go higher. It's going to go higher. But I can adjust my option positions. I mean, I can buy back calls that I wrote a couple of weeks ago or days ago, and I can then write other contracts instead. I can always do what we call the rollover. Market wants to go up on these stocks, fine, go higher. I will write higher priced calls. I'll go further out in time. But if you want to go lower, oh well, okay. I got contracts that are out there for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and you want to back off. Oh, okay, come on down, and I'll buy those calls back for less, and then I'll write closer in calls, closer into the price of the stock and closer in time. So I used to have 2-month contracts, and then I bought them back and I wrote 4 or 5-month contracts. And now I'm buying those back and I'm writing 2-month contracts again. Okay, I'm with you. You want to keep going lower? Okay, then that'll be fine. I'll buy back the calls that I just wrote a few days ago, lower pricing, keep the change in, and I'll write calls that are closer to the market and maybe a little closer in time and maybe not. Yeah, I'm an easygoing option writer here. You just tell me where you want to tell me what window to go to collect money, and I'll just walk to that window and I'll meet you there and you can hand me money there. I'm very, very flexible. The thing about this market that kills a lot of investors out there, and maybe what used to be your problem in this market, because there was a time where a lot of viewers of this channel had this nasty little problem, and that was you were guessing what the market was going to do. You were you were trying to analyze how the market is going to go up or down, and you thought that you had found some really good intelligence and good research that indicated the shares should go up or down in price, and you acted accordingly. And not only were you wrong, the analysts you followed were wrong. The predictors were wrong. The share, everything was wrong. Or something happened in the market or outside of the market that no one foresaw coming, and that just screwed up the whole damn works. And you're on the wrong side of the market. Does that sound familiar to some of you out there over the last few years? Because that is the history of the stock market. People guessing wrong. Don't guess. Forget guessing. Just take the money they want to hand you and say, okay, I'll take this dough. All right, you want to GameStop, you want to go from 22 to 19.20? Okay, then I'll adjust my options accordingly. You want to go from 19.20 to 16.20 in the next couple of days? Okay, all right, I'll go with you. You want to go from 19.20 to 24.20? Okay, I'll go with you there too. I mean, you can go to 16 first and then go to 24 and then go to 28 and then come back to 22 and go to 16 and go up to 20. Okay, you just go wherever you want to go and I'll adjust my option portfolio so that when I do rollovers, my premiums, I get cash in the door because I'm going to write calls for more money, hopefully. I'll raise up my strike price if I can, or I'll lower my strike price if I must, because and then the amount of time the contract has outstanding. Whatever loose cash I have left over, whatever cash I've got lying around after all this movement, I'll still buy up either more shares of the company I like and write calls against those, or I'll buy deep in the money calls on that stock and write against those. Either way, I am going to get richer. I'm going to become more profitable, but I will not make $1 million in one trade. I'm going to have the steady cash flow come into me on a constant basis. There's dough coming into my pocket all the time from this stuff. And I'm prepared to trade my way through that. And whether I have an active week or an active 2 weeks, or I have a quiet 1 or 2 weeks, I'm easygoing, man. Make me richer on paper by letting my deep in the money calls become way more valuable. Make me richer by my shares going up in value, or make me richer by my options that I've written drop in value so I can buy them back for way less money and then write new contracts for more money and keep the cash coming in. Let's just go with the flow. And so if you're only writing 1 or 2 calls at a time, it's a problem because you just don't see the wealth growing. You don't feel it. Sometimes 3, 4, 5 contracts isn't enough. You might make 300 here, 200 here. You bring in a couple bucks. You just don't feel really richer. But those of you out there who've been around a while, and I'm talking 3 to 6 months, 8 months, a year, you figured a couple of things out. Take the example of a typical viewer of this channel a year ago. It would not have been uncommon for a viewer to be watching me who would have said to me, Bruce, I own some I own some SoFi shares and I've got some Matterport and I like these SPACs long term. I've got some of those, but I have 100 GameStop shares. I got 100 shares of GameStop and they're trading at 120 a share. I want to write an option on this thing. So one at a time, you write one option at a time. Now take that person's journey in the last year. What was it, 6-8 months ago, the company did a 4-for-1 stock split. So the individual went from 100 shares to 400 shares, and instead of writing one call option at a time, you wrote 4 call options at a time. All right, great. And then 3 months ago, the individual decided, I'm going to follow what a lot of Bruce's viewers are doing. I'm going to sell my shares of the stock and I'm going to buy deep in the money calls. I'm going to pick up those January 25 $10 calls. And for every share, all the shares I sell, I can pretty well almost double up on the number of calls I'll have. Can perhaps go from 400 shares to 7 deep in the money calls, something like that. So they do that. And then they write 7 calls at a time. And when they do rollovers of those, they can now add another contract on top of that. Now they're at 10. 3 months later, they are now writing 10 contracts at a time, where they used to write 1. That's growth. Now, to be fair, the one they wrote was before the split, which equals 4 now, but they're at 10 now instead of at 4. They've gone from what could have been 1 or 4 contracts pre-split, post-split, to now 10 post-split. And that's climbing because every time they do a rollover, they're buying 1 or 2 more of these. You're growing at 10 and 20% per rollover on the number of deep in the money calls you have and how many calls you can write. This is a far cry from where you were a year ago. And this is a small investor. This is not a millionaire. This is not a 100,000-aire person. These are investors that are out there by the millions, and a certain number of them have found their way here. and have been doing this. And we're finding that, every month or two, we kind of look back and go, gee, 3, 6 months ago, I was only doing this, and now I'm doing this. And we're also noticing there are more zeros on our trades. We're doing many more trades on the contracts, and way more money is coming into the house. It's funny, when you bring in, if you bring in 1,000 a month more into your life from a part-time job, or you're selling some stuff in your garage sometime, or you're helping some buddies out, and making $300 here, $200 here, whatever. You make 1,000 a month more. So however you do it, it helps. It's cash. It's extra cash. It's nice, but it's not a lifestyle changer. It doesn't take you from a Volkswagen to a Rolls Royce or anything like that. It's 1,000 a month. It's okay. But when option writing doesn't bring in 1,000 a month, it starts to bring in 3,000 to 5,000 a month. In that range, things change. Perspectives change, and you begin to look around and go, well, 3 months at 4,000 a month, for example, is 12 grand more. In the next 3 months, we can have 12 grand more lying around here. Now, is that all into the market and writing more contracts, or is that 12,000 going to dedicated specific IOUs that have been hanging over you for years? Or is it credit card debt at 20% that you're going to say sayonara to? You're going to say goodbye to $12,000 in credit card debt that's costing you $200 a month in interest. Yeah, I would say that's a lifestyle changer. That is going to make a difference, because 3 months later, you got another $12,000, and you don't have that credit card bill anymore. So, now what do I do with it? Yeah, that's a changer. The thing is, though, that those of you who are here, you're finding that, no, Bruce, I can get by on the job I have, the cash flow we have in the house. This money we're making on these contracts inside our brokerage account, it's just going to stay there for a while. We would like to compound that as much as we can for as long as we can before we withdraw any of that for anything else. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and let's grow this, and let's see, and with your other viewers and yourself, how far can this go? And a number of you are noticing there is no limit to this. It doesn't top out at 2,000 a month, or 2,800, or 3,300 a month. It doesn't stop at 5. It doesn't stop at 8,300 every month. It doesn't stop at 28 contracts, or 37, or 44, or 81 contract. It doesn't stop. You just keep on going. There's no limit to this. There are viewers here who are writing now hundreds of calls a month on several stocks, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps on revving along. And yet the trades are the same trades that you've made when you began with 1 or 2 contracts to now 20, 30, 50 at a time, whatever it is. Same trade. And you're just following the stock. You're not guessing where it's going. You're just going with it. Like, what you tell me GameStop, you tell me Tesla where you're going, and I'll go with you. Because I'm here for the long haul, and as long as my deep in the money calls are in the money, I will keep writing against them. If you come down too far, I'll reposition my deep in the money calls. I'll make some moves. But all in all, if I've got the right deep in the money call, and I didn't overpay for it using the 90-10 acquisition rule, I'm going to write on this stuff for a long time and haul in dough. There are people on this channel, I bet you there are people here right now, who haven't thought about this, but if you did take a look at your trading history, you have hauled in more money on some of the stocks you've had than you ever paid for them. I can imagine on GameStop, there are people here who have hauled in more money in option premium from GameStop than they've ever put into GameStop, and they're that far ahead. Now, where did that money go? Additional GameStop, additional other shares, what bills you pay, it doesn't matter. The reality is these stocks pay. These stocks can pay you to be a shareholder, and I welcome you all to the party. Today's a busy day, Friday, the 20th of January, option expiry day. The Dow's off 21 right now, maybe 21 points. S&P up 7, NASDAQ up 66, oil is up 52 cents. That's what we've got here. That's where we're sitting at. What is going on with Netflix? There's the question for some folks out there. Curiosity. Some people are wondering, gee, yeah, what happened to Netflix last night? Is this stock? How are people going to do trading that one? If you're short that stock or long, what's the dealio, right? Closed at 315 last evening, down $10 on the session. That was last night's close. In the pre-market right now, it's 336, up $20 from last night's close. So in effect, it's up $10 from yesterday morning's trading range or day before yesterday's close. But if I would have told you a week ago, if I would have asked you your opinion on what do you think Netflix is going to do after they release some information, like uh, like their numbers are way down on their net profits. They their CEO has left the company or is stepping aside, and another guy's coming back in, like an old manager coming back in, and the margins are off. Margins are way off. But one piece of good news is that they did add subscribers to their quarter. What do you think the stock will do with that? Well, you'd look at it and go, well, adding subscribers is okay because it's reversing a trend of losses. But is this a blip? Is this a year-end blip? Who knows? And then what about these margins? If you have lower margins, you need tens of billions more in sales to make as much money as you used to because the margins aren't there. I mean, a profitable company like Apple having 45% margins versus a company with only 5% margins, whatever that company is. Apple does $1 billion in sales and they make 42% net profit on that. That's $420 million. You make 5% return on $1 billion in sales, you make $50 million. You need to do 8 times as much business. You need to do $8 billion to equal what Apple does with $1 billion. Well, Netflix is not a $500 billion a year, a quarter company. I mean, that's not their style. The other thing is, if I were to say to you, yeah, this Netflix stock, by the by, is trading at about 32 times earnings. What would you say to that? What you should be saying is 32 times earnings with interest rates going higher and the inflation where it is. That's not good. Decreasing margins means profits will be lower. And that means the P multiple is going to go higher. So that's bad news on top of bad news. And yet, here we are in the pre-market this morning with the stock up $20 from last night. Why would people pay $20 more for a stock that lost $10 during the day yesterday in anticipation of the numbers that we received? Maybe it's a short squeeze. Maybe it's a temporary little old short squeeze that caught some shorters offside. And there are hedge funds out there, perhaps, that shorted 100,000 shares each. 50 of them, they're 5 million short. Maybe there's a 4, 5, 10 million share short position that has to be covered up real quick because it was on borrowed dollars and it was all on the derivatives market. And maybe that's why it's doing what it's doing. Because remember, in the aftermarket, last night's aftermarket and this morning's pre-market, only about 10% of the shares are participating in the market right now. When we open for trading in the next, what will it be now, 39 minutes or whatever it is, when we open up, we'll have all the market participating. And now we'll see just really what the stock is going to do because all those who could sell will sell. Remember, if you're a gambler, there are two kinds of gamblers out there. The gamblers who are short this stock and the gamblers who are long this stock. Now, there's gamblers who are long this stock who can't trade in the aftermarket, the pre-market. Their brokerage account won't let them do that. They can only trade when the bell goes, when the markets open up. And is it possible that perhaps 10 million shares of Netflix are coming in for sale in the first half hour of the opening because they're up $20 a share from last night's close? That could happen. I don't see where 20 million shares of buying is coming from to get in now. That's the thing that I don't understand. I don't know where and why a whole bunch of people would all of a sudden figure out at 32 times earnings, I should be buying the crap out of this stock at 300 and something bucks a share. I don't see it. I don't see that kind of money available in the market either. So, is it possible that in an hour after we open for trading, that Netflix is back to even from where it was last night? And could it be at the end of the day, it's down on the day? Because the analysts will dig into the numbers and come up with their reports and say, at these prices, it's overpriced. Would that be common? I don't know. Remember, though, the stock was $700 a share at its high over a year or so ago. So somewhere in the last that time frame. So it has been a lot higher than this, but it also could go a lot lower. I'm thinking a 16 times earning multiple is not unreasonable. Well, that would put the stock at 160. So you tell me 480, 160, 320. What, where, when, plane, here, don't go there, go there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just don't like guessing with stocks. I just don't like it. It's just not satisfying to guess. I mean, it's frustrating. It's extremely anxiety rising. It's blood pressure rising. It does you no good. Does you no good to guess where the stock's gonna go. So I look at GameStop here on the open market, pre-market, saying it's about 1907 last I saw. Yeah, about $19.07. And it's up 3 cents on the morning. So it's telling me it's not going anywhere right now. I mean, 3 cent gain, we're not going anywhere. Looking at other pre-market trades, I had noticed a bit of green coming in, like Rocket Lab up 6 cents, but boy, have we taken a shellacking in the last 3 days. This thing was pushing $6, and now it's 485. Like that's ridiculously cheap. SoFi 544, up 3 cents. GameStop up now to 1919, I think. Yeah, it's up 15 cents. What about Matterport up 2 cents to 298? 23andMe up 4 cents to 239. Spire up a penny to 120. ATIP looks like it's up a half a penny, 45.6 cents. Smart Rent up 7 cents. Cyxtera down 3. That was as of last night, I think. Apple is up 31 cents. Talk about nothing burger happening here. It's very quiet because it's option expiry day today. Goldman unchanged. Cisco down 11. Tesla up 176 to 128.93. It's not giving back around at all from these levels. Yeah, it touched 135 the other day, 136 for a moment, but it sure hasn't given much back, has it? ARC Innovations up 43 cents. Microsoft up $1.06 to 232.99. Bed Bath Beyond down 28 cents to 351. Pfizer up 3. HBQ up 16. Google up $2.49. Another good day in the morning. We were up 213 yesterday. Now we're up 245 today. The company announced 12,000 people getting laid off, being furloughed, being let go. That's 6% of the 6% of the workforce being let go. So the FANG stocks have all made big personnel announcements to let people go. And this has been the pattern lately, and we're seeing more of it now. You got to wonder. I was thinking about this, actually. You may recall we had a pandemic, and we were all locked up. Before the pandemic kicked in, you might or might not remember that Wayfair. You remember the company Wayfair? They sell that cheap furniture online and all that. Now, the story on Wayfair before the pandemic had been they were a growth company and they were getting high, growing and growing and adding people and advertising aggressively. And then I heard about a month or two before the pandemic kicked in and the lockdowns began, just before, they were announcing layoffs. They were announcing reduction in staff because they had to cut expenses. And then we had the lockdown. And Wayfair was one of those stocks like Zoom and a Peloton. Remember those? And a number of others where their business picked up because all of a sudden people weren't going out to furniture stores to buy furniture. If you have a baby coming, you want a dresser and you want a rocker or whatever, you gotta get that stuff. Well, people are buying it online. And so Wayfair was finding sales because people were stuck at home and they wanted to improve their home situation. They're being paid to stay at home. They had cash flow. They were buying product on Wayfair. Wayfair started hiring people during the pandemic. They hired tons of people, became way bigger and grew out. And that happened at Google. It happened with Apple. It happened with Amazon, especially Amazon. I mean, the home business. A lot of these tech companies really added staff because now you needed PCs at home. You needed cloud computing services for hundreds of millions of people globally that used to just go to the office and use whatever they had there. I mean, this really was a job creator, the pandemic. It became a job creator in the space that allowed people to do this kind of business from home. What it killed, unfortunately, it was devastating for resort hotels, devastating for cruise lines. All those folks who were working on cruise ships were laid off and sent home. It was devastating for airline employees for a while, especially global carriers that were doing a lot of international flying. They were having a tough time of it. Planes got parked everywhere. So there were winners and losers, right? Now look what's happening. We're shifting again. We're out of the pandemic theoretically, except China's going into its own little mini pandemic, just delayed anyway. We're now watching the reopening trade has come and gone, and now we're into this normalization period where we're just trying to get back to what was once normal. And look who's laying off people. Wayfair is laying off people. Peloton already took the hit. Zoom sales are way off, and cruise ships have hired back hundreds of thousands of employees to work on their ships again. Resort hotels are back in business. Airlines are up to here and work. I mean, it's coming around, right? But while all this is happening, these major companies are doing layoffs. I find this fascinating that Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, these guys are all doing layoffs of all kinds of staff. I think they're taking this opportunity as their chance to offload people they just don't want back. They've been with them the whole time. It's not like these people went away and are now being, coming to the office and being fired. These people have been employed the whole time. But I think the human resources departments of these outfits have taken a look at their numbers and their personnel, and they've done their sort of cost analysis thing and their analyzation of who should we keep and who should we dump and why. And I kind of wonder, is it possible that the people that are being let go are the ones who don't want to come back to the office? Is that where the layoffs are happening? Is it possible that a lot of folks, not everyone, but a lot of these people who really would rather stay at home are being told, stay at home, but we're not paying you anymore. You're out of here. And we're only going to keep, we'll keep 90% of our workers, 93%, but the 5, 6, 7% we're letting go are of a certain age, perhaps, a certain maturity, closer to retirement, and they're more expensive to the health system of the company, because as you hit your 50s and 60s, you need more medical things, and let these folks go. And that means our average age of our employees is 1 or 2 years lower. That means the amount of money that our health insurance plan is paying towards the health of our employees is less per employee. That could be the dirty little secret that's going on. I just wonder. I kind of wonder if that's what's really happening here. And now those folks who are getting the ticket, they're being told, "Nah, sorry, we have to let you go. I'm really sorry." Some of these folks are getting checks, sizable. Might be a year of service, might be 6 months. All depends on the company. And do they have a savings account that now gets released? Like, do they have, for example, at Microsoft or at Google, do they have a bunch of stock that they've acquired over the years and years of employment? and now those are vested. Those shares are now yours to do with as you wish. You can transfer them to wherever you want to transfer them to. Now, could it be that in the case of Google, there are some people being let go, the same with Amazon, that are going to walk with 1,000 shares of stock over all the years they've been there? Well, at $90 a share, it's $90,000 of stock. And if they've put up half the money and the company put up half the money, that's 45,000 each over the last 15 years. You know, that could be happening. Think about it. If you know someone that has 1,000 shares of Google right now that are, they got a 6-month paycheck, here, get out, here's a bunch of money, here's your stock, and off you go. Couldn't they theoretically open an account with a brokerage firm and now write options on those 1,000 shares? That's 10 calls at a time on Google. 10 shares on a 90. What is the stock trading at? 93.91 as of yesterday. It was 93.91. It's 96 right now in the pre-market. You got 96 grand worth of stock. You're 40 years old, you're 44 years old, you're 52 years old, you're out with 96 grand worth of stock. My question is, can you live on the premiums on Google if you can write 10 calls at a time? That's what I'm kind of curious about. That's my question. So if I were to look at March contracts, for the heck of it, if you were to write contracts for March, what kind of money could you bring in if you wrote contracts on March Google contracts? That's what I'm curious about. So let me take a peek at my big ass iPad here. The stock's at 96.40, but it was 93 last night. And last night at the bell, if you would have written a $93 contract that expires, let's say March 17, the third Friday. Let's take a look at that. Can we do that? Yes, it would have brought you about $6. That's an at-the-money contract. If you would have written a 95 last night, remember, we're up 250 this morning, okay? But last night, that would have brought you almost $5. I would guess right now, this morning, the $95 contract will likely pay you now something like $6.50. And that's, that's still in the money, right? There's no premium. If you want to write a 100, that is out of the money. Last night, you would have gotten 228. I'm going to guess this morning, you're probably going to get something like 375 to write an out of the money contract. So that's $3,750 for a March contract. If you netted that out, if you made all that as profit, the stock didn't go over 100, that's not enough to really live on, is it? I mean, that's 2 months from now, But what if you sold your shares and you bought deep in the money calls instead? Could you make a move into deep in the money calls where you could go from 10 contracts, 1,000 shares, to 20 deep in the money calls and now write 20 contracts at a time? And now you're bringing in, instead of $3,700, you're bringing in $7,400. Food for thought. You don't need a full-time job all of a sudden to replace your income because you've got, $3,000 a month coming in from over here, just dividing it out. That could make things interesting. It could well be that a whole bunch of folks who are being let go by these tech companies are going to go, you know what, I'm going to work part-time as a consultant from home, or I'm going to work part-time with relative of mine who has a whatever shop or something, or I'm going to work at, I'm just going to make coffee at Starbucks for a while and just kind of chillax. If I can make $1,500 a month, $375 a week, I'm a happy camper, and I can live off of my option premium. Interesting. If you sold the stock for $96,000 today, this 1,000 imaginary shares, and you turned around and bought deep in the money calls on GameStop, the $10 2025 GameStop shares, how many contracts could you buy? And then conversely, how many options could you now write? That would be an interesting little calculation, don't you think? I mean, the stock's what do we say? 1904 last night, and the GameStop now is 1910 a share. What are those 10s going for? $11, $12, $10? If you have 96 grand, Just think about that, $96,000, and these are $1,000 each. You can buy 96 of these. Well, let's say you bought 80. Say you bought 80 GameStop $10 calls. Is that doable? I think it is. That would be a living, don't you think? Alberto here. Thank you, my friend. Google 10 calls, 340 times 10, strike 95. That's $3,400. That's a paycheck for many. My mother's retired and writes 2 Teslas a month for extra income. Giddy up. See, that's what we're talking about here. This is what's happening here on this little tiny channel out in the YouTube world that just keeps on clicking along. And I'm looking at people who are being let go. If you're getting a check for 15 grand, 20 grand, you're getting your savings of 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 80,000, whatever you piled up over 5, 10, 15, 20 years of service, you turn those into deep in the money calls, you could generate enough revenue to more than make a living on it. You don't have to go back to work ever. And that's something, if you think about it that way. I mean, I have viewers here who say to me, Bruce, I just rolled over my 20 calls on GameStop. I just hauled in another $4,500 in cash. I just bought 4 more deep in the money calls. I wrote calls on those. I now have 24 calls that I'm writing on. That's a 20% increase in your paycheck. You're not getting 20% raise, even if you stay at Amazon or anywhere else. No one's going to give you a raise because we just laid off 10,000 people. No one's getting a raise. You'll just be grateful you have a job is what they're telling you now. So much for inflation protection. Not a good time, is it? No, not a good time. Interesting what's going on. I'm quite curious how this is all going to play out. Unfortunately, what they don't do at these companies when they lay off their 10,000, 12,000, whatever number of people, what they don't do is they don't sit them down and say, now, look, here's what you got to do. Okay, you got to start watching Uncle Bruce on Stock Markets with Bruce. Now that you're out and you're going to get your hands on a paycheck, a final check we're going to give you to get out of here, and we're going to give you your savings are invested. You should start watching Stock Markets with Bruce, because your future is actually in your hands. And we're giving you your freedom, and now you can move on. Unfortunately, they don't do that. No. These people are terrified when they walk out. Some folks are absolutely terrified about what's going to happen to them and their families because these checks don't come in anymore, and it's all they've had. It's all they ever had. It's all they thought they would need. That's the other sad part about this whole thing, is how they thought they didn't need anything else. Just the job, because once you've got this job, you're set for life. No, you're not. You're set until they've had enough of you, and you're out of here. That's the reality of it. For those of you out there who have a job right now, I say great, but be realistic about what the potential is. If your company's sales drop by 10 or 15% due to a slowdown in the economy, what will that mean to possible cuts in your organization? If you're competing with 4 or 5 other companies for the business that you're in, and those companies are already doing layoffs, don't you think your turn is coming too? Something's going to happen in your organization. You got to wonder, and you have to get the blinders off and keep your eyes open about what is happening in the big world around here and what could happen to you. And this is why I keep saying, write calls that are further out in time, haul in big premiums that these option gamers want to give you. Take their dang money. Have it sitting in your account. If you do acquire additional deep in the money calls, write on those and compound this money and get yourself out of this 4 to 10 to 12 to 15 contract neighborhood and get yourself into the 20, 30, 40 contracts at a time neighborhood. Get over here, because when you can write, say, 25 GameStop calls at a time and you're hauling in $4 a contract, that's 10 grand coming in the front door. And if you can hang on to 5 of it by only buying the contract back for half the price and then writing another $10,000 worth, you're doing $5,000 rollovers to you. That might be your job right there. That might be the household income coming in the front door. Now you've given yourself an insurance policy against being let go. You may not quit your job. You might just keep on going until you can double that. And then you might say goodbye to your job. But that's up to you when you're ready and however you want to do it. But oh man, the potential is there. It's happening here time and time and time again with how many folks are doing this on this channel. And I welcome all of you to the channel. If you've been kind enough, like Go SoFi, who I never have to ask this gentleman, this guy in Blythe, California, he hits the thumbs up button and then he says good morning to me. If you could be like him, I would love it. Please throw the thumbs up button a shot. Give us a shot of thumbs ups. We have 103 right now. We've got 18 minutes to go. We like to hit 200 thumbs ups before the market opens up. That's sort of a dream of mine these days. If you could please hit that thumbs up button, give it a shot. There's 110 now. We need 90 more to get to the promised land of 200 thumbs ups. I thank you all so much who just automatically hit the thumbs up. I don't even have to bring it up. I love you guys for it. Those of you who hit the thumbs up after I mentioned it, you're great too. Thank you. You darn right. I love you guys. Thank you all. Here you have it. Who cares is saying, amen to Uncle Bruce's commentary. I'm employed, but at over 50 years old, all my options gains are from my form of training as I approach retirement, hoping to make the same after I'm done with the corporate world. Right on, man. Right on, right on, right on. What else is going on here? Alberto, you have set me up to retire or slightly quit by the end of the year. That's 10 years earlier than what the systems indicate. I can't retire due to my age. There we are, man. This is it. I tell you, it's exciting stuff. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate you guys. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, I heard that KKR, one of the largest real estate houses, limits investors' withdrawals of one fund after Blackstone, another huge player, stopping bleeding by forcing investors to stay. This is becoming much more common. That's true. This is absolutely true. Much more common. Yeah. Go SoFi says, Uncle Bruce, a telltale sign of layoffs coming is when they cut your free coffee. When they don't have free coffee at the coffee machine anymore, layoffs are next. Those are the signs. That's also a sign that the bean counters are in charge, and the dreamers and the creators have been sidelined by bean counters. When companies are sidelined and are taken over by bean counters, get out before they kick you out, or hope they buy you out, because if they offer you an exit package, you take it and run, because the bean counters are going to destroy the company. They're not visionaries. They're not the ones who created the whole thing. They're the ones who are mopping up the mess, and you don't want to be around for that anyway. Good morning, Bruce from Megan. How you doing? John Bickman, number 126. Thank you, John. 74 to go, and we've got 200 thumbs ups. I've been through 6 layoffs in my career, says Go SoFi. Unreal. Yeah, there's telltale signs when it's coming, but you have to pay attention. If you're in the, I don't know, whatever business you're in, you're in the air conditioning business, you're in the refrigeration business, you're in the auto business, you're in the whatever, you see competitors of your company doing the layoff game, closing divisions. You're hearing rumors that, 25 people were let go last week out of the blah, blah, blah department of that company. You've got to pay attention to this. You have to be on top of this, because your company is not immune to an economic slowdown. Just because your bosses say everything's great, yeah, it's great for them. They're up there, they're protected. No. This can be ugly. Alberto, I stay at the Hilton's due to the free breakfast. Love the waffles and coffee. Triple diamond member. Laugh out loud. Love the hotel life. Right on, Alberto. I love this talk. Love you guys that are getting ready to go traveling here. Credit Savage, going to Waikiki in a few months. Again, going to go to Reno. I go to Reno often. We went to Beverly Hills and stayed at the Waldorf Astoria twice last year. Took jobs I wanted from work while at home with 3 kids, selling covered calls. This is the life, man. This is the life. Absolutely. I just love it. I love it. Guys, thank you so much for being here and letting me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're up to. I'm excited for you folks who are really finding that your lives are really changing. You're contacting me for one-on-ones, and you want to get my take on where you were, where you are, where you're going. I'm happy to work with you on that. And then those of you who are taking my classes, the men and women out there who are just silently acquiring these one by one, and they're just watching another class and they're watching another class. The pattern is the same every time. I can tell you the pattern. You get a new viewer that comes around here, finds this old balding gentleman, asks themselves, why on earth do they listen to this guy? What has he got to say that is going to make me want to do anything? They hang out here for a little bit and they go, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to. I'm going to try one of his courses, one of his classes. I'll start with class number one, like he says. Start with number one, and so he starts with number one, or she, and they watch that class in the comfort of their home when they're comfortable to watch it. Whether they watch the whole class right through, beginning to end, or they watch half of it, do some running around, and a day or two later do the other half of the class. It doesn't matter. You can watch the class as many times as you want. Rerun it 15 minutes, watch it again. Doesn't matter. And what happens then is they come back and watch the show, and they realize they're beginning to understand what more and more of these people are saying all the time, and or those people over there. And then they watch lesson number two like a week later, and then they take a look at their portfolios and they go, okay, yeah, okay, I see what's going on here. I have these investments in these mutual funds and these whatever investments, and they're just, I'm getting dividend yields of 4% a year, and yip-de-doo. And they realize, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together enough dough to buy 100 shares of a company that I can write options on. And they buy 100 Cisco, 100 Pfizer, 100 Apple, 100 whatever, and then they take a look to write their first contract. And they are very conservative when they write their first contract. They are very conservative. They'll write on an Apple $15 out of the money, $10 out of the money. They're way out there, and it's got a month to go. And they're not getting a lot of money for it, but they're also not worried about, they don't want to be exercised or whatever the issue. And they just sit there and they watch that contract, and they hang out here and they watch and listen to this, and then they watch their contract. And a week later, they have a piece of paper and a pen, and they write down what they did. I bought the stock at this price. I sold the contract for that price. A week later, it's trading at this price. A week later, it's trading at that price because the stock is at this price, and so on and so on. And they're seeing the shrinkage of these contracts. It's there. It sure is. And then they go, well, wait a minute. If I had written a contract a little closer into the money, I would have gotten way more money for that contract. And it too is shrinking. They're all shrinking. Oh my God. And then lesson number 4, lesson number 5, lesson number 6, number 7. The poor man covered call strategy is learned. Things start to happen. Then they become more active here. They start talking because they become members. And then I get the private email. And it's I would like to have a one-on-one with you. I need to review where I'm at. Well, we get together, and that's when I'm filled in on what you got, where you at, and they choose to tell. They choose what to tell me, and I get the comment that's something like, I got $60,000 that I've saved up for 20 years through work, and I got let go. 60 grand. That's everything. And I'm 40 something, 48. I'm supposed to retire in 17 years at age 65. How's that going to happen with 60 grand? How am I going to, can't at 3% a year? That's not happening. But watching you and the gang over here, if I take that 60,000 and I turn it into 50 deep in the money calls on GameStop, I could write 50 calls at a time. Can't I? Is that right? Can I write 50 calls on GameStop and bring in $4 on the first write by writing 2-3 month out contracts out of the money? Does that bring me 20 grand in cash right now? And I've only got 60 total, and I get 20 grand in my hands, in my account immediately. I say, yes, it does. And you're saying I can take that $20,000 and do whatever I want with it? I say, well, essentially, yes, you could. If you take that money out of there and spend it on whatever, and your shares go up in value, it's possible you get bought out with the call you wrote. Of course, you'll be bought out at a higher price because you set the price for your contract. But yeah, you won't have cash to buy the calls back, but you'll buy the shares back once you are bought out, and all that. We get into all of that. But the other thing they realize is they say, but I could take that 20 grand and buy more of those deep in the money calls, couldn't I? I go, yes, you can. You've already got 60 grand worth. You can add 20 grand more to the pot. Maybe that'll get you 15 more deep in the money calls, which you will write options on immediately at $4 a piece. There's another $6,000. And they go, $26,000. I can haul in $26,000 from my GameStop deep in money calls now, today. Yes. When they get that, when that sinks in, they go, am I ever glad I spent $400 with you for the hour? Because that and everything else you've told me has just blown my mind. This is really something. And again, everyone's situation is different here. I've got people who say to me, I got 60 grand, but I got 60 grand in debts. And I don't want to spend all this on the debts and have nothing. I'll be out of debt, but I'll have nothing in reserve. So we talk about the strategy of bringing money in from these option rights. And I suggest something like, why don't you use 5,000 of the 20,000 towards some debts? Bring them down a little bit. Which is the worst offender? Which is the one that's the real problem child? Oh, yeah, I got this one credit card that's really nasty, and I got one or two other. So give that one 3,000, and give that one 1,000, give that one 1,000, and that just takes 5,000 of heat off the top, 3,000 on that problem child. Now, in a month or two, you'll do some more rollovers. You'll find another 5,000 to take out, and you'll nail them again. And if you have a day job, great. If you don't have a day job, you're living off proceeds and you're building it up. If you found another job in the meantime, you're doing that, and all the money you're making just keeps piling into more deep into money calls, and you're growing out your portfolio. Can I get this person to 100 calls in a relatively short period of time if they roll their dough back into their account? Yes, I can. Yes, we can, because it's happening here with you guys. You guys are doing this, and it's changing everything. It's completely changing everything. But you got to start somewhere. And the first move you have to make is up to you. You're going to hang out here with us? Great. Become a member of this channel? Fantastic. You can ask questions and get answers from existing viewers and yours truly, I hope. And or then the next move, start with the classes. $150 a class. It's not prohibitive. It doesn't cost you $1,500, and you don't have to buy them all. I don't make you buy all of my classes to learn how to become self-employed. No, I don't do that. If I did that, I'd be asking you for $2,100 right now, because there's 14 classes, soon to be number 15. So that will run you $2,250 in one shot. I'm not going to do that. The classes are available one by one whenever you want. $150 a shot. Take your time. Watch one a day, one a week, one a month, whatever. But learn this. If you are truly interested in becoming a fully self-employed, independent individual financially, this is one way to do it. This is how we do it here. It's how it's done here by the viewers here. You want to join that party? Great. Otherwise, whatever turns you on, if you've got 40, 50 grand lying around and you team up with a relative and 2 or 3 other relatives and throw a couple $100 grand together into a pot, and you buy a house that's a fixer-upper, and you want to put the sweat equity in there and all that, great. That works for you. It's worked in the past for all your relatives. It's working for you as a new joiner. Great. It's up to you, but at least you're doing something. You're making the change. But here on this channel, you don't need $100,000 to get started in writing options. Have you got a couple of grand lying around, like $2,000? That's probably enough to open an account with most of these platform trading accounts to set up a scenario where you can do option writing. Definitely poor man covered call writing easily. You can do with $2,000. You're definitely writing options on your poor man covered calls. Great way to get started. Put your toe in the water and see what you think. Because if you don't like it after 6 months, you don't do it anymore. You just let the options expire out. You You don't do any more trades. That's all. It's simple as that. You don't have to put up 150 grand to find out if this works or not. That's the best part about this option writing game here. Okay, welcome all. We have 3 minutes to go before we start trading. I love it. Good stuff. Go SoFi. I learned so much in my career that when I was getting a pink slip, I already had 2 offers in hand. I was laughing at the poor manager who was laughing me off. Credit Savage, thanks to Uncle Bruce, I decided to quit the job, stay home with my 3 kids. I save $5,000 a month in childcare. Take trips often. Family is happy. I trade in Waikiki. I trade in Beverly Hills. I trade in Reno, El Salvador. I love Uncle Bruce. Just $5,000 a month is good for a trip every couple of months. How about that? Bobby Joe, regarding Netflix, isn't more customers, less profit, very bearish. It's not like they're investing in infrastructure. I don't think people really will rewatch Netflix stuff. Jay Albans, I don't comment really, but I've been with you since the beginning. You've improved my financial position for life. Thank you. Right on. I'm glad to hear that. Alberto, the Credit Savage, right behind you, buddy. Megan, headed to Puerto Rico in 4 days, baby. Alberto, I love Puerto Rico. Old San Juan, not the new. Credit Savage, didn't think this was a lifestyle until I started to comment and study option chains, or I started to commit and study option chain. Got familiar with what we do. Started with class number 1. I still watch them to refresh my talents here. No magic bullet, do the work. It's true. There are viewers here who are writing thousands of contracts a year, thousands, and they still watch my classes as reruns all the time. They just rewatch them. Just, oh yeah, I forgot that. Oh yeah, the stink bit, the 90-10, the psychology in the market. I forgot about that. Yeah, once you got them, you got them. Way to go. Spicy, sorry, I'm late. Number 143. I'll have to listen to the replay again and again like I always do. Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce, the hilarious thing is that we make money and navigate generating income while in a freaking bear market. We're in a bear market right now. Do you guys understand the numbers that will come in when we're back in a bull market? That's right. You guys are making nice money now. Alberto, we are forced to live a better life. My rentals get facelifts just for write-offs. Tenants love it. Wait, what? A new pool liner? Only because I love you. Laugh out loud. DH, number 148, Mr. Premium. Alberto, yeah, buddy. Credit Savage, in a few years, I'll be able to write 100 calls on SoFi for $4 here, $6 there. And the same with Matterport. I'm applying what we've learned to all my other stock, and I'm bringing monthly cash. Not bad at all. Alberto, Mr. Premium, this old, angry, bald, short, non-financial uncle is making many millionaires. Can't wait to see where we land in a year. Let's go. Go SoFi. Uncle Bruce, in my book, if a company gives me $60,000 after taxes, I will be depositing 40 grand in brokerage account, then shirk the heck out of the laying off company. There you go. Kim, KN, number 150, home skill, a thumbs up, buddy. BB Boy receives delisting warning. Wow. JR, for all of you that have a long vision of your future in the U.S., you can open a Roth IRA. This type of retirement account uses after-tax funds, but all the appreciation is tax-free. And there's more coming from JR. Then when you write your covered calls or poor my covered calls and make the moolah, upside, no tax, downside, you have to wait until you retire to access the funds, but by then you're making great income. And more. Consider that once you retire, the income from your options is free from tax of any kind. Caveat for those who are later on in their life. You can open a Roth, but have to wait 5 years to withdraw to enjoy tax-free income. So get started now and find a platform that will allow you to do this and make that moolah with Uncle Bruce. Those are kind words. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for that detailed description there. Depending on where you live, it's all different. Canadians have their system. Americans have theirs. UK, the EU, it's all different. It's all good. Larry Titus, I am certain, has already hit the bells. I have not yet gotten to Larry. We are open for trading, and I welcome you all to the fun. It should be a lot of fun today. Let's see what's going on here. Thank you, everybody. Steady Mystic, thank you for 152 thumbs up. Credit Savage, all starts with class number 1, kids. Watch it, write questions, then ask Uncle Bruce live on here. No stupid questions. The Bagel Gang here is not like that. We welcome newcomers. And my brokerage doesn't allow for poor man cover calls. Can anyone advise? Reed wants to ask. Let's see. Reed, yeah, change brokerages. Just do cash covered calls, says no sell. I'm doing covered calls, just slow moving. You might have to apply, says Mr. Premium Reed. You might have to apply for that. H. Gregory, 155. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. You're getting up to 200 thumbs ups. Let's see. I have applied. They have requirements on that margin level and won't upgrade me. Switch brokerage firms. Move to Schwab or Fidelity, says Mr. Premium. Fidelity currently. I'll check out Schwab. Marcus, I am 162 on the thumbs up meter. You're going to hit 200 here. Right on. Schwab is a great platform. And Bank, says John. Thank you all for joining us. Did Larry do it? Yeah, Larry did it. Larry hit the bells. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. We are up and we're running. Hawkeye number 162 as well. BW, good morning, everybody. Layoffs announced year to date. Google, 12,000. Microsoft, 10,000. Salesforce, 8,000. Amazon, 8,000. That's 38,815 tech workers laid off in 20 days in 2023. Susan Shop's about number 162, Bruce. JW, can't you just buy the long call and sell covered calls separately? How would they know it's a poor man covered call? Yeah, I'm not sure on that. Yeah, but yeah, I hear you. Thanks, Larry, says Bama Babe. 166, says Bjorn from Sweden. Karen, I like Fidelity myself. Right on, guys. Thank you, all of you, for being here. We're down 72 on the Dow right now. Early start to the day. We'll see how it works out. We'll keep on top of all this. Thank you all for being here this morning already. It's so appreciated. Thumbs ups. You guys are great. You're awesome. I appreciate this. We're going now to member-only mode on commentary. We're now into market hours. Please become a member of this channel. Join this wonderful family of YouTubers, this PG-rated channel. We are very friendly to all. We have a high number of female viewers here. For those of you who are women and are watching us, I'm trying to gauge whether it's safe to be here. We think it is. We work very hard to keep everything in a PG-rated kind of way. Thank you, all of you who are here. A lot of women are very good option writers. They become quite good at it. They seem to have that right kind of personality for it. And appreciate those of you who have come through here, and those of you who are grabbing the classes and learning about this. And also, again, those of you who've decided that it's time to see Uncle Bruce on a one-on-one setting only, to really, figure out where you're at and where you're going. More than happy to set something up. I do my one-on-ones on Sundays generally speaking, although I can do special one-on-ones once in a while on other days, but it's got to kind of work out for both of us because of my busy schedule here on the air. But thank you all for being part of this channel and being part of this community. Notice now Netflix is open, regular trading. We're running now at $334.95, up $19. Shares did hit 338, but they're now 334.95. But you see if the shares can hang on to these kinds of gains. That'll be interesting. Bed Bath & Beyond receives delisting warning from NASDAQ. So even though the stock was 3-something, you got to wonder how long is it going to survive. That's interesting stuff because the company has warned about their possibility of going bankrupt. Interesting stuff. They didn't want to do what Ryan Cohen suggested they should do. That was when they were $30 a share 6-8 months ago, and Ryan Cohen sold out and walked away, and now they've got a delisting warning. So, okay, your way's better? Great. Mr. Cohen has moved on, and he's never coming back. Mandu, I'm 168. Bruce, Wayfair up 14%. Merco 169 now. JR Bama Babe, thank you. But this comes after a lot of thought. I heard this about 2 years ago, but just recently it gelled in my mind about the Roth, and what Uncle Bruce is teaching us just made sense. Andrew Fielder, number 170. Susan Shop's about. JR Fidelity, for example, will not let you write poor man cover call in Roth accounts. They will only let you buy a Leap in retirement account, but you can't write on them. Maybe other brokerages will let you. JR. Down we go, says JR on something. We're down 54 on the market. We're at 1908 on GameStop, up 4 cents this morning. ATIP is up 1.4 cents to 47 cents. Tesla up $1 to 128.24. SoFi up 7 cents to 548. Apple is off 63. HPQ down 4. Google up 267. 96.58 on Google. Moderna 191.91 up 153. Cisco down 77 cents. Pfizer up 37 today. IBM up 73. Microsoft up 341. ME is up 1.5 cents. Nothing on Rocket Lab yet. No change. Matterport up a penny. SmartRent down 10 cents. Spire down 1 penny. And Sextera down 7 cents. Amazon is down 33. Now say 27 on Amazon. HD is down 150. Netflix up $24 at $339.86 now. That's what I'm showing on Netflix at the moment. Manic Vectors up 103. Adobe up $1. Goldman down $1. Boeing down 60. Meta down 65 cents. AMC combined are down 3.2 cents, maybe, not much change. Royal Caribbean up 69 cents. Bed Bath & Beyond down 22 cents to $357 with a delisting notice in hand. I don't know what that means for sure. Timing-wise, we'll find out. Carvana down 7. Robinhood up 4. BlackBerry down 3.5 cents. Target is up a nickel. JP Morgan up down 29 cents. Costco up 2.28. Walmart up 6 cents. Disney's up 56 to 99.64. Nvidia up $1 and American Airlines down a penny at 16.28. There you go. 56-point drop on the Dow at the moment. We've got the other markets now up 2 points on S&P, up 51 on NASDAQ at this point in time. There you go. That's the story. Okay. GameStop now down 8 cents to 18.96. ATIP holding a 47-cent price, up 1.4 cents on 49,800. ATIP looking good today. Could 50 cents be broken today? Maybe. That would be nice. Tesla 127.79 up 62. SoFi up 4, 5.45. We're up 4 cents on SoFi. Okay, Tastyworks allows you to write on Roth, says JR. That's why I use the platform, JR. I don't need all the investing fluff. You know what? The Fidelity and TD want to give their customers slaves. Amy, Uncle Bruce, I have 14 GameStop, the poor man cover calls. I want to sell the rest of my stock to get more deep in the money calls. Do I buy back my covered calls before selling the stock, or do I do it the same day and I can leave the covered calls alone? I'm not 100% sure on this, but what you might end up doing is buy back 5 calls, sell 500 shares, buy your covered call, deep in the money calls, write calls against those, buy back another 5 calls, short calls, sell 500 shares, buy deep in money calls, write you're going to do a 2-step, 3-step shift over, shifting over. It can be done today, tomorrow, whenever you're ready, in one shot or in pieces and chunks, up to you. Obviously, the stock's at 1904. You have to know what calls, like what am I going to be paying for my deep in the money calls, and get them. As soon as you get them, you can write, right? You're going to, sell buyback calls to sell, buyback calls to buy calls to sell stock to sell more calls. It's a bunch, you know what we're talking about. So yeah, I don't know if you can do it naked inside the account during the day. I doubt it, but I don't know the platforms and I don't know their rules, and they're all different. So I can't help you there. JR, man, I wanted so bad to make a move based on pre-market looking like it was going to pop up. But thanks to the arm folding lessons from Uncle Bruce, I waited. Glad I did, because this market is like a whipsaw, and it will be all day. We're going to be like this all day. Amy says, thank you, Uncle Bruce. Mirko, Amy, depends on the platform. On mine, you could buy the long calls and add a stock leg, all with set price limits. Nazareth is smiling. See, you could, if you have enough capital, or if you have a margin account, you can buy deep in the money calls on margin. Then keep your stock option position and sell the stock. That could be played. You see, so you buy the deep in the money calls first, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, then sell 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 500 shares, right after that. And that's how you fund it, right? You're borrowing and then you're paying it off, and you're borrowing and you're doing the rollover that way. It might work that way. Mirko, Amy, I have Schwab. I'll check with them before I do it. I have a margin, so that might work too. Wing Commander, I did the switch to poor man cover calls on IBKR by buying calls, then selling the stock. I had 10 grand in my account plus margin to move around. There you go. Sean and Wendy, God's amazing. 176 thumbs up, Bruce. Great day all. Thank you guys very much. We are moving in on 200 thumbs ups here. 21 to go. We got 179 now. Thank you all so very much. It's January the 20th, 2023. And I remember January 25th, 26th, 2021, when I started going live every day on this channel. What a change has happened. What changes have come and gone since then. Unbelievable. Welcome one, welcome all to the show. 1912 on GameStop. We're up 8 cents. There it is. That's what we have. So much fun. Crypto lender Genesis files for bankruptcy. More casualties in the crypto space. Yikes. I've avoided crypto, as you know. I've avoided other stocks and investments. Kind of just stayed down the path. I have noticed, interestingly, I was looking up last night some of the YouTube channels that used to be around here in the financial space that don't seem to be around anymore. Participants and creators that used to be really active they've disappeared. They're nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on. I found that to be rather interesting. And these are creators much larger than me. I mean, there are creators with more followers, more views, more subscribers. They're gone. They've disappeared from existence. Really interesting. We're doing the same thing as always, but I guess things have really changed in the last little while here. Yeah, I don't know. JR, Amy J, I'm able to do the transaction separately, leg out, etc. at my leisure within Tasty, but I have a large account, so that is likely what allows me to do that all day long, says JR. Mirko, Amy, if you do your trades within a day, your margin would cost you nothing. Amy, thanks, JR and Mirko. Advice here, priceless. Sell my house fast. Good morning, everybody. I'm 184. Bruce is only 16 away from 200. Go SoFi. They made their money and ran away. Mandu, they were all charlatans. I kind of wonder also, though, that there were a lot of creators out there, people who had channels who were trading their own accounts and talking to people about, what's going on. And I kind of get the impression maybe what they ran into was a situation where they've been advised by legal advice. Look, you could be accused of running a pump and dump if you are buying the stock that you're telling people to buy. You're kind of a promoter, and that could be a problem. Now you expose that, you disclose that to everybody. That's fair, but still, that might have been an issue. I know that I was shocked the other day, really shocked, and I just happened to stumble across it by accident. I was watching. I watched a Trey's channel. I was just looking at it. It must have been Monday, holiday Monday, because it looks like on Sunday, just this past Sunday, 50 million views of videos. All the video history that was in his channel has been eliminated. So if you go to Trey's Trades and look at click videos, you'll find only 2 or 3 videos that are left, and there's none there. You can't view any of his videos from the last 6 months, a year, 2 years. They're all gone. He's kicked them out. Other YouTube creators that comment on stocks and stuff have commented on Trey's Trades channel that it looks like he's gone. It looks like he's no longer here. And then I was looking up another YouTuber last night who hasn't done a video in like 2 months. He used to do 3 a day. He hasn't made a video in 2 months. And then prior to that, it was a month before that. So there's been some very dramatic developments in the last about 2 to 3 months. And I saw other video titles from other creators as I was just searching for info, and it seemed to all be related to AMC. It seemed to be AMC related, and some creators, the quote is, are walking away from AMC, or are no longer on the air anymore because they don't want to talk about AMC anymore, or whatever. I'm just giving you generic reports here, but yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I don't know if I really don't know if they made their money and ran away. They may have lost their money and gone away. Hey, of course, I never really liked Trace Trades, but right before he disappeared, he had gotten a cat and then had immediately removed its claws, then posted on Twitter about it. I mean, assuming it was for Keith. Now, I don't know what this means. I have no idea what your comment means whatsoever. Wing Commander, note that you need margin account to do poor man cover calls. Anyway, deep value. He knows Keith loves cats. Okay. JR, yes, I've had to open a margin account, but I stay within the limits of my powder, says JR. Then when the market makes a huge move, there's a cushion against margin calls. Deep value. Plus, didn't Trace Trades and other shills use your videos illegally to comment on them? Well, I did have a single occasion, which I never complained about. I never lodged a complaint. I never did anything about it. But there was once and this is back in maybe February, March. This would have been March of 21. I had been asked since January and February, what do you think about AMC and GameStop? You know, how high can AMC go? Because I had all these people watching my channel and other channels looking for me to tell them what moment in time to buy certain stock and then let it run and you'll get rich. And I was trying to tell my viewers, I don't do that. I'm explaining the market in plain English. I'm not here to give you a hot tip of the day. That's not my style. There are others who want to do that, but it wasn't me. Anyway, finally, I addressed the AMC situation, and I had done my due diligence on the stock and the company, and laid out my point of view. And I got attacked very heavily. But what happened was, I had done a video and released it, I think, on a Friday or Saturday. And it was on a Saturday that there were 4 YouTubers who were together on one YouTuber's channel doing a live show. And you could sort of see one guy up here, one guy here, one there. And then the host was in the middle, maybe, if I recall it. Anyway, one of them said that they just got an email or a text message from a viewer that Stock Markets with Bruce has just released a video about what he thinks of AMC. And these guys went, I don't know how they did it, but the host of the show went to my channel on another tab, I guess, and ran my video on their show, their live show. So they're all watching my video on the channel that they were talking about AMC about. And it was yours truly explaining how deep in debt the company is, and they have problems, and the shutdown was on, and theaters were closed. There's no income coming in. I mean, how are they going to survive? It's going to be tough. And oh man, comments were coming in from viewers over there. Some were going, that makes sense. Others going, he's a turncoat. He turned his back on us. And I'm going, I was never on your team. How could I care? How could I possibly be on your team? I'm not on anyone's team. I'm an observer. But oh yeah, I got attacked. And then the death threats started coming to me personally and to my channel. And shortly after that, we went to membership only because of what the trolls were doing. It was absolutely wild. It was incredible. But I was on that. They ran me for like 5 minutes, and then they commented about it. And then they finished the show up a little later after that. I never did complain about it. I never did go to YouTube and say, hey, this isn't cool. I just kind of thought, well, you guys have your style. You guys have your thoughts. I have mine. And we move on. And I will say I got a lot of promotion on that episode, but I got a lot of haters as well. And so that, what are you going to do, right? Anyway, there it is. And what can I tell you? What else is going on here? Let me kind of catch up with your comments because I'm way behind here. Other YouTubers don't have Uncle Bruce's stamina. Mr. Premium Chorus deleted all his AMC videos as well. That's interesting. JR, here's what keeps me here. Uncle Bruce doesn't promote stocks options. The amazing lessons, the fun of knowing each other and sharing our trades and lives. I don't need any shill bullshit. There you go. JR, also the pre-market info gives me the heads up every day, whether or not I agree with Uncle Bruce politics. Politics doesn't count. Making money on options is what counts. Splair, maybe I try out a news section on stonks once a month with a news video that mentions shortly what happened during the last 30 days. At least thanks to Uncle Bruce, I don't disappear, so there will be Uncle Bruce ads. Alex, Bruce, I've watched the last 20 minutes of your morning show on Wednesday about a dozen times. I find it highly motivational. Oh, thank you. I don't remember what I said in that because every show I'm thank you. Great. Deep value. I'm just going out on a limb here. I'm assuming either the AMC paid shills are being investigated by the SEC or they all finally grew a conscience and listened to you. I'm glad they left. Susan Shops about, do you have to like the stock to do poor man covered calls? I mean, take GameStop and the madness during the last squeeze. It's still heavily shorted. I haven't pulled the trigger to buy Jan 25 $5 strikes. I do, though, see future in gaming. There you are. You don't have to like it. Just make money. JR, well said exactly, says Alberto. Alex, also 188, and good morning. It's Friday. Right on, Alex. Bama, babe, JR, you are spot on. JR, this is why Alberto says familia all the time. Yes, we truly are a family, and I value that more every day. Dude face, Uncle Bruce, I used to watch Andrew Mo Money after your streams and would end, though I never got any value from his channel. It was all just speculation and reading Reddit threads. I did get those comments a lot about that channel, and that people were not all that impressed. Look who the cat dragged in. How are you?
Good.
Jen Jr. has arrived.
It is I.
Barely awake. It is you. Welcome to Friday.
Yes, I made it.
Yes, you made it. You are here.
I feel like I don't even need to take your order. I mean,
you think you know what it is I want on my bagel today?
I obviously know.
She says, I know what you want.
We all know.
We all know. Let's not kid ourselves. We all know what he wants. It's Friday.
I mean, we can play mystery bagel, but they're all gonna know. They're all gonna guess right.
See? Someone who knows me has figured this out.
I've been doing this for almost 4 weeks.
That's right. I've been here almost 4 weeks, Dad. I kind of know you now.
I've been taking notes.
I don't recall you making me bagels when you were like 13, 14, 15. I don't really recall those moments.
I certainly wasn't waking up at 6:30.
That's true. You weren't waking up at 6:30 in the morning when you were 14. No. Not during those days. Oh gosh, no. Well, I will leave it to you to do what you feel you must do with the bagel that I will receive. I will trust you as to. I'm sure I'll like it no matter what's on it, but I have a suspicion you do know what today is and what usually I have on my bagel. And so thank you. I will say also that on the thumbs up meter already we are at 197.
Oh, see.
Isn't that awesome?
They already have a lot of
they're incredible. I'm hoping that we have 225 by the time you get back.
So nice.
So maybe that'll happen and that'll be kind of cool. But thank you.
They have a job. I have a job.
Okay. We'll get back to our job. All right, everybody. Let's see what happens. Thank you all for these comments. Coyote, the video was a 2-second clip saying AMC sucks, and that hit them hard. Alex, you were talking about the move from former SPAC shares into deep into money calls when the SPACs move up. The content would make a great lesson, perhaps in a few months. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, that's right. That is a motivational one. Yeah, that's right. Deep value. Andrew Mo Money is also paid. There's just no way these people are real analysts from Silicon Valley, more like working for Wall Street Naked Shorts. I don't know if he is, because I think he's off the air now. Like he's just not doing anything anymore. Or he's doing it somewhere else. I know he's got something on Patreon, and he had something on Twitch, but not very large on Twitch. But again, I don't have time to study them. I'm, as you know, I'm rather busy here. Testy Donkey, I remember that awkward interview where Trey wanted Bruce to say how much he loved AMC. I was a guest on his channel. I was a guest on Matt. Was it Matt Coors? I think it was a guest on his channel. I invited Trey to come onto my channel, but he never got back to me. I actually reached out to Trey about a year after and say, how you doing, man? What's going on? How are things with you? I would love to just talk to him on the phone privately, but he never called back. He may have not gotten my message though, because how busy he was at the time. So it's all right. Karen, I bought my leaps on margin initially for my poor man covered calls, but then paid it back quickly after selling calls on it. I only paid a few dollars in margin interest right on. Kaiser trip markets on a moonshot early pop. Bama Babe, I really feel for the majority of followers here are trying to, I really feel that they're trying to help each other to succeed in this crazy market. Yeah, this crazy bear market. Deep Value Investor, I believe it, Testy. It's crazy they were allowed to stay on YouTube so long. I'm just happy they've stopped, whatever the case is. JR, screen capture likely. Alex, bang, out of order that. Bang, out of order that. I don't know what that means. Cindy, what's wrong with Google? It seems to be taking off. JR, the turncoat is still in the air. Coyote, most AMC apes have been so utterly wiped out. They don't have much to say these days. Splair, by the way, interesting headline in my notebook. Putin is after a cancer treatment, withdrawn and quiet. Deep Value, Coyote, that's why Nietzsche says to be a Superman, not an ape. Laugh out loud. Deep Value. Or be a cat. Can't do much better. Alberto, Jen Jr., how are you doing? Joey's voice. Splair, good morning, Jen Jr. Alabama Babe, AJJ, Jelly, says Zach. Marcus, we're close to 200. 3 more to go. Jelly says IR Aaron. Dude, mystery meat on a bagel today. Wing Commander, how about a bagel on a bagel on a bagel on a bagel plate? The Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce, I have an idea. What if during your next meet and greet, which should be in California, by the way, what if you went live for the folks that can't be there? That would be so cool. I'd have to get permission from everyone in the audience that they'd be willing to be on camera. And I'd have to get permission from the site that I'm at. And then I'd have to make sure the connection works. I have to have someone handle the camera work and the sound. Not going to happen. The Credit Savage just presses that thumbs up, probably 199. Deep Value, I think Max interviewed you early on, and he's actually a good person. We had a good chat, Max and I. It was Max, yeah. Max Mayer, right? Was it Max Mayer? I confuse them. I don't remember exactly. But we had a good chat. Yeah, we talked just in general terms, and yeah, he was very, very, very nice. And I was hoping that he'd be on my channel someday, but it didn't fall into place. And I know that Andrew Mo Money was hounding me to go on his channel. He was really after me, but I chose not to go on his channel because I was getting reports from viewers going, he don't like you. He's kind of slapping you around on his channel. And I thought, well, I'm not looking to pick a fight with anybody and all that. I'm just me doing what I do. You do what you do, and I do what I do, and whatever. You get 1 million views, I get 100,000 views. Okay, I get 10,000 views, you get 50,000 views. Okay, whatever. Beach Boy Jen Jr. Did she know about the Shills attacks? How did AJ and how did they react? Oh, they didn't like it. Oh, they were very aware. Jen Jr. was not impressed at all, and she made sure I was okay. And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right." And she said, "Yeah, this is part of the price you have to pay, Dad." I go, "Yeah, I know. I know the price." Kareem, Uncle Bruce, how does the paid thing work? Hedge funds actually pay these guys to pump companies? I don't know how it works. I have no idea. I do recall, if I'm right, there was a publicly traded company, and and I'm not sure where they were trading, actually. I don't know what exchange they were on, but I got approached with an email, and because my email address is, down below, you can all write me an email. I got an email from I believe someone to do with a public company, perhaps directly or indirectly. I can't remember. And they offered me a cash payment of $40,000 if I would give them like a 5-minute spiel. And all they wanted me to do was tell the world what they are, like what they did and who they are and what they were doing, and where they came from and what their hopes and dreams and aspirations would be. And they would supply me with any video or B-roll footage or imagery of their business and stuff. And they were offering me $40,000 if I were to do this commercial, basically, on my live show. Now, at that time, this is back at the beginning of the craziness. And remember, all these guys we're talking about and myself, we had way more viewers then than we have now. I mean, things have completely washed out. These guys they felt that my pushing their stock or talking about it would be really helpful because they wanted to get to you guys. They wanted me to deliver them to you. Well, I didn't do it, but Trey's Trades did do it. Trey did do a video for these guys, and he did get $40,000 from what I understand. And at that time, Trey was probably on 12 or 15,000 subscribers, maybe 20,000 subscribers. He was building, but he hadn't yet really gone big. But he took the dough and he ran it. Now, that video was deleted not long after. I think he ran that for a month or two, and then he deleted the video. So it was no longer on there. But, he did it. Now, I don't know anyone else. I don't know any other channels that I'm certain others did were working this thing. They all, however they were, whoever was approached, they did what they did. Did they get paid? I don't know. They were promised the dough. Did they get the dough? I have no idea, but not me. Just wasn't interested. A toasted bagel on a bagel would be very postmodern, says dude. Go SoFi Matt admitted that he made $1 million on his YouTube channel. Beach Boy, deep value. Yeah, seemed nice. He's still around or so. Not a lurker anymore. What did I miss? I had to walk away from my desk. JR, the Credit Savage, great idea. That way we can all see who is behind the handle. If anyone wants to show their face, I know I would. Bobby, time for today's special bagel. Karen, I used to watch Adam on his ITM channel. But then he developed health problems and started his ITM health channel. He is a young guy. Go SoFi, Matt Kaur is his name. Bobby, ham and egg day with a little ketchup. Hector, when does SoFi report, or have they? They do report, I think next week, don't they? Or is it the week after? I don't remember. Not a lurker. JR, catching up on the text. Yes, the IRAs are a great place to learn how to do it. Alberto, a fight? Wait, what? Got your back. Bama Babe Matt seems to be a nice guy, but his monologue is snore boring. Susan. Kareem, yes, HH are everywhere. On Reddit, CNBC, it's called propaganda. They sell when stock goes up, and they are buying when stocks go down. They know regular folks buy on the up and sell on the down. Dude, I still remember when Mark Pellier, Markiplier showed up in your chat. I didn't know him at the time, but he is a huge YouTuber. Hopefully you helped him. Maybe he's still watching. I was totally unaware who he was. I had no idea. So then you guys mentioned to me, this guy's huge. You check this guy out. He is a massive YouTuber. So I checked out his channel, and yeah, he had 10 million subscribers, something big. He never mentioned me on his channel, but he popped in on the chat on this channel, and he was very kind to do so. I talked to him on the phone the next day, I think it was. We had about a half an hour chat, and he couldn't have been nicer, couldn't have been more helpful, because he recognized my channel was blowing up, and I was just going, I had 200 subscribers in June. I had 800 in September. I had 1,400 in December. In March, I had 100,000 subscribers. Like, whoa. And so he was just talking me through it like I talk you through the markets, and he was very kind to me. It was really nice.
Hello.
Guess who's back? Let's see how many thumbs ups we have. Do they deserve to see what I'm getting
No,
with the thumbs ups count at 209? We were hoping for 225 thumbs
I
ups.
feel like we can at least get to 220.
I mean, 11
Come
more
on.
is not asking a lot for Jen Jr. I mean, she's standing right here with the mystery bagel,
You know,
and we have 211 thumbs ups. You know,
I was thinking of kitchen. This might be the last time I bring you a bagel.
this might be now. Yeah, because starting Monday, we have a visitor in town, and
Starting tomorrow.
well, yes, that's
Yes.
true. Starting tomorrow, we have a visitor coming to see us here, and your attention will be diverted away from your dad.
It will be elsewhere.
Because you know,
I'll
dad's
be on vacation.
dad's cool and all, but the boyfriend is cooler.
Okay.
You know, and I get it. I would ignore my dad if my girlfriend was coming down to see me in Palm Desert for a few days. I'd be saying, "Hey, Dad, I'll catch you later." Yeah. We are at.
out of here on Tuesday.
That's right. You're out of here next Tuesday, and no more Jen Jr. For a while,
Don't worry,
because
I'll be back.
because Jen has come such a long way on her recovery. A huge day yesterday for Jen because she did the physio,
Okay.
and then we took her to the pool yesterday. She was in the water for the first time, and she was smiling. She had a big smile on her face with her sunglasses on and her hat.
Because she can walk on her
Because
own.
she can walk in the water.
was a
That
big deal.
buoyancy is what a difference maker. No walker, no cane, nobody's hand. She's on her own in the water. Oh, that was big. So I have a feeling we'll be doing more of that
Oh, yes.
very shortly.
Yes.
So we now have 215 thumbs ups. Do you
Oh,
think
so
that
close.
the gang is close?
Well, I'm going to let you guess what's on the bagel.
Well,
I'm
the
gonna give you-
folks here have been playing the what is going to be on his bagel
I'm gonna give
game,
you 3 guesses. but you're gonna
and
be
they
wrong.
have been fairly accurate about it. Let me just double check here. Here we are. Some were saying stuff like ham and egg with a little ketchup.
Oh.
Time for today's special bagel, says Bobby Atkinson. And who else? Toasted bagel on a bagel would be very postmodern.
Love it. Bagel side of bagel.
Uh,
Deconstructed bagel.
but someone did guess the old jelly bagel would be the one, and I suspect that's exactly what we have got going. Because Fridays are generally a purple
I don't know.
jelly bagel type day. We now have 215 thumbs ups. We seem to be stuck at that level because everyone's digging their heels and going, I tell you right now, he's getting a jelly bagel. There's nothing fancy about this guy on Fridays. He always gets his jelly bagel. I'm sure that's what he's going to do.
Well, can you give me like a desk drum roll?
Here comes the bagel. Here comes the bagel. Here comes the bagel. Look at that. It's a great jelly bagel. Oh, wow. Look at that. This could be the last jelly bagel presented to me by Jen Jr.
In this fashion.
in this fashion.
For a while.
We gotta love that.
You never know.
It's a beauty. I'll tell you that right now.
I had a feeling.
There it is. Gotta love the jelly bagels. You can't go wrong with it. Welch's grape jelly bagel. Come on.
3.5 weeks. I've been paying attention. I've been taking notes.
And been taking notes, and then she's talking to Jen, going, well, "What do you think the bagel is going to be today?"
Yeah, the part of the conversation that you and these good people don't get to see is my mother and I collaborating and scheming.
Collaborating and scheming
Yes.
about what kind of bagel to get Uncle Bruce today. Well, I cannot complain. I'm not complaining about a grape jelly bagel with the toasted sesame seeds on there, the roasted sesame seeds. Oh, so good with this Costco bagel. Yummy. Thank you so very much, madam. Well, if we don't see you anymore, we all say thank you for helping out Jen and getting us through this medical thing that we had to work through.
Hey, man, my pleasure.
It's been good. It's really great to see the recovery. 3 weeks in the day now, day 22.
That's true. Yeah.
Since the procedure, and you've been a trooper for us, and we love it.
Wow.
Now we'll enjoy your last few days, and then perhaps in March or something you might swing by again.
I'll be back.
The weather will be, I hope, slightly warmer than it's been already.
I I gotta get her walking around again.
Oh yeah, we got her. We
Yeah.
got her going then, and then you can take mom out and
Exactly.
head to the shopping mall and to El Paseo or downtown Palm Springs, and
I'll come back and I'll hand you something.
woo-wee. You'll love that. Awesome sauce, man. Thank you, my dear. Have a lovely morning.
Enjoy.
Give your mom a hug for me, and we'll catch up with her a little later too. Thank you.
Bye.
See everybody. Oh, you gotta love that. Pretty cool stuff, man. Oh man. What else is going on here? Credit Savage, Uncle Bruce. You do know I'm a video engineer and an audio engineer, right? I can do all that, and people can sign waivers. Have a section of people that sign and don't sign behind camera, Wi-Fi. You gotta love this. Alberto, a lurker. I'm laughing. JR, not a lurker anymore. One needs to check out their platform. Some will and some won't let you trade within a retirement account, but my promo is for a Roth. JR, you still pay taxes on traditional IRAs when you retire. Credit Savage, JR, you just want to shamelessly plug and launch your singing career. Rugman will be your big single hit. I know what you're trying to do. Laughing here. Coyote, the pay chill thing is mostly nonsense to distract from criticism of certain stocks. JR, the Credit Savage. JR, my rock star dream days are over just for fun now, and I love it when I have the time. Like, time? What's that? Not a lurker anymore. JR, yes, I use the Merrill IRA. I can do all the trades, covered calls in there. I'm opening up a cash account there for trading. Splair, SoFi 30th, and Matterport 15. Credit Savage, I think SoFi reports Jan 30. Go SoFi. It was amazing how they were advertising on billboards to buy GameStop. Do y'all remember that? Not a lurker anymore. SoFi is the 30th. Beach Boy, Max Mar's still on. Posted a video about chat, the GPT 22 hours ago. Just goes to show how being nice guys compounds over time. A Markiplier looks a lot like Keanu. Keanu, I had a really good chat with him. I was mentioning that earlier. He answered a lot of questions for me about YouTube. I needed to know stuff about YouTube. When I started this channel going live in January 2021, I had been on YouTube since August 17 on the travel channel, and I was learning as much as I could about it. And he gave me a contact name over there, and he answered some questions. He was terrific. I haven't, we haven't conversed since, and I haven't seen his name here, but he was telling me that his girlfriend was really into watching my channel. That's how he found me, because his girlfriend was watching me. And she was talking to him about this GameStop stuff and everything, and that Uncle Bruce is right on it. So it was an interesting chat, and anytime he wants to reach out to me, he's more than welcome. I'd love to talk to him about what's happened to you in the last 2 years and what's happened to me in the last 2 years. It has been an interesting ride, and it continues to evolve, as it were. It's been amazing. Bagel Hand says DH. Mirko 215. I like whoever's nice to Uncle Bruce, says Mandu. It's going to be eggs and cheese. Come on, 10 more thumbs up. We miss you, JJ. Beach Boy, Jen Jr., do you know that as Uncle Bruce is munching in front of me, I usually munch in front of him? What's wrong with this picture? Splair, I better begin again on that grape jelly. Kosher pork. Bobby Atkinson, my daughter has merchandise. Christmas gifts, agreed, does look up a stand-up guy, and does look up a stand-up guy. I'm trying to say that. Alberta, stock increase, time depreciation takes care of that. I'll roll my Teslas in further strength. Dude, got a laugh from AJJ and Uncle Bruce. Okay, I can retire from jokes. I'll never top that. Beach Boy, thank you, JJR. Example for daughters everywhere. Splair, there's nothing better than jelly. And yeah, great thanks for the mystery time with you. JR, it has been such a treat to get to know AJJ a little. This is why we are family. Mirko and Jen Jr. made her bachelor on the first hip. Next year she can go for her master's. Oh, she's made her bachelor's degree on the first hip. Next year she can go for her master's degree. Got it. Deep value. Jeremy from Financial Education preaches in his early videos that options aren't for retail investors. We stick to just buying stock. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. January 30th, SoFi. Feb 15th, Matterport. Flint Creek. Andrew Moe was boring. Dude, I have a Roth, JR, on Vanguard. Been writing covered calls. Very nice. Though if Tasty lets me have margin, I might do a transfer over there. 2022 will be the first time I've ever hit maximum contributions. Flint Creek, I would never be on another Stock Channel's official soap company. Not a chance. BW, no tears and sob stories, Uncle Bruce. Eat your bagel and learn us. What's up with all these union breaks and talking to the help? Have them deliver the food and move along. Thanks, Jen Jr. Godspeed. Alberto, before Uncle, I followed several others on YouTube. Yep, lost due to the BS that was being spewed from those guys. Losing money. We can't be doing that. We don't want to lose money here. We like making money here. We're down 44 on the Dow. Nothing serious. GameStop, 1920, up 16 cents. HIP, 45 cents. Come on, HIP. Tesla, 130.77, up 360. Yay! Yay! SoFi, 550, up 9. Apple, down 44. HPQ, up 15. Let's go. Come on, man. Let's go. Oh, tasty, tasty, tasty. Love it. GameStop, up 12. Headline, Nordstrom reports. The Nordstrom report hints. Okay, there's a Nordstrom report that hints at weaker spending by wealthy shoppers. That's a sign. They're not as rich as, they don't feel as rich as they were before. Interesting. 346 gain on Tesla. Okay. So good. So good. SoFi, 551, up a dime. Okay. Alberto says, I know it's my fault for not doing my own due diligence. Deep Value says, Uncle Bruce should have Stephen Graham's position. At the very least, he could interview Uncle Bruce. Stephen Graham doesn't know how to trade options at all. It's crazy. Dude, it's not your fault, Alberto. It's not your fault. Tiff, I got somewhat unlucky with my rollovers yesterday and still made money. I got some. Tiff, anyway, he's having trouble typing. Zach, Uncle Bruce, I missed the rant this morning, but we'll rewatch when you're finished. Did you talk about hitting the debt ceiling and what that might mean for the market? I did not. Beach Boy, Alberto Ditto. It took me a while to find Uncle Bruce and realize the others were harmful to my financial health. Also, why do the emoji delete my message when I send you them? Jesus, Tiff's having trouble here. Alberto Beach Boy, like mine. BW, existing home sales fell for the 11th month in December, hitting the slowest pace since November of 2010 per CNBC. Recession, anyone? Maybe stagflation. Wow. Yeah, interesting stuff. SoFi's up 12 cents, 5.53. Giddy up. Go SoFi. Go to $10, go to 15, and then go to 20. Let's go. BW, new home builders are starting to they're pulling out all the stops and offering all kinds of incentives, Bruce. 2008 all over again. Yeah, they're desperate. They should be desperate. It's not good. Yep. Home sales down for the 11th consecutive month. Amazing. We're down 39 on the Dow, 17-point gain on S&P. 112-point gain on NASDAQ. NASDAQ's up 1 full percent. S&P up 0.45 and the Dow down 1/10 of a point. Interesting how that's going. Very interesting. And upscale shoppers in Nordstrom. Interesting stories. Oil only up 27 cents. We're not going anywhere on oil right now. Deep value. Now that Party City has a new ticket and is on the over-the-counter market, is it still tradable? I'm sure it is. I wouldn't touch it. I've been recommending to avoid it. Alberto, Tesla 131. Please get to the 140s so I can roll. I'll strike into the 50s, 60s with an average of 115. I'll pray for assignment. Oh, lovely. Zach, okay, then what do you think about hitting the debt ceiling? I've talked about this a lot. This is going to go on for weeks, okay? Don't worry. We'll be talking about this for weeks. Mr. Premium Go SoFi. Nick, add TOL to your watch list for a short. Kareem, I wrote 2 Roblox February 1730s. I got $6 each. Trying Uncle Bruce's method to write far out for a big premium. Right on. Rolo, I'm thinking to see GameStop at 20 today is what Rolo's thinking. 1917 up 13. Splair. Uncle Bruce, do you think there'll be enough time in the next 4 months to add enough SoFi before it's going to go to 15? I don't know. You're asking me to speculate. I don't want to speculate. I'm just going to trade the stock like it trades. Well, you're going to trade the stock. You're going to do the option. The market's coming on. The Dow's only down 11. S&P going up. NASDAQ going up. Interesting. Zeta State, 221 on the thumbs up meter, buddy. Thank you, my friend. Fantastic. Uncle Bruce, I was watching a video from Davos on Quest Business where an oil guy was talking about oil scarcity. The truth is shocking. Buy oil. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I know where I come from in Alberta. There is so much shut-in oil, millions of barrels shut in, dying to get to market. Just dying, just can't get to market. Okay. Oh boy, Tiff, yesterday I wrote an at the money Tesla call expiring Jan 27 next week. I got $7 for it. The premiums are insane. Splair, I ask you only for making me calm that the next earnings in January won't be the one who kicks us to 20. I don't know if the stock goes to 20 by January, but 7 or 8 would be great as a starter. Alberto, Wing Commander, seen that as well. I'm laughing. Rusty Bosco wrote a 93 March contract on Google yesterday for $6. Just rolled to an April 95 for 9. Even roll. Smart move. Still new. I like it. It didn't cost anything. I like that move. Moving up a couple of bucks. Good move. Very good move. That's a good roll. Excellent stuff. Google now 98 up 466. So going to a 95. Very good. Cisco down 40. Pfizer down 3. IBM up 90. Microsoft up 375. ME up 5.5. Rocket Lab up 3 cents. Matterport up 4.8. Smart Rent down a dime. Spire unchanged. Cyxtera down 5 cents. ATIP at 45 cents, even down a half a penny. And SoFi up a dime. So the old SPACs are hanging right in there. Dow's only down 5 points, by the way. We're going green. We're going green. Netflix, 336, up 20. It got up to 343. Now, 336. Interesting to watch that. Pretty expensive stock. Dow down 5 points. I think it's up actually positive now. I think we've gone green. Alberto says, Rusty, way to go on those Google calls. Nice work. Wing Commander 8. By the way, forget the market. When is the next story time with Uncle Bruce? Oh, my. The oil guy claimed that the demand for oil will be greater than what we're able to produce in the world right now. The guy wasn't safe. Not a lurker anymore, Tiff. Hello, Tiff. Dude, writing in the money. Writing an in the money call can be very lucrative. I'll roll out and just stay under the price. Uncle Bruce, do you like this method? Is there a lesson about staying under the price on rights? I haven't done anything like that. Although I did do some, I think lesson number 3 and 4. I think, 3 and 4 might help you on that. Because I talk about writing in the money calls. You have to find out what you're comfortable doing, what you like doing the most. Do you like writing in the money calls, out of the money calls, weeklies, monthlies, quarterlies? What is it you like doing most? I say if you're new and you're trying to build your account and you want to give yourself the maximum flexibility and a bunch of dough, you write further out calls. Gives you time to decide what your next move will be, brings a bunch of money into your account right now. And for some of you, it's the kind of cash that allows you to acquire additional numbers of deep in the money calls. And you might go from 15 calls to 22 or from 30 to 40 calls in one shot. Just a few turnovers. Taking you to another demographic level. I love that idea. Man, this is so good. Look at the Dow, plus 42. Here we go. You gotta love this. Gathering up all those seeds. Gathering up all those roasted sesame seeds. I try and eat them, but a bunch of them end up in my teeth. So for hours, I get to taste roasted sesame seeds. For hours. Better than gum. Oil's up just 2 cents, by the way. The last nibble. I'm done. Thank you all. Thanks for waiting me out. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. So good. So good. Cheers to you all. Oh, that coffee. That's lovely. Rolo, Uncle Bruce, I've been reading and learning about poor man covered calls. With the 700 shares that I have, I can sell that and write 13 poor man covered calls. I'm worried of always thinking that I need to roll. Well, the thing is, if you sell the 700 shares and you get 13 calls, you can then write 13 calls, which will probably allow you to buy another 3 or 4 more. You're probably going to get yourself to 15 or 16 or 17 calls is where you're going to go from. Instead of 7, you might end up at 15 to 17. All you need to worry about with rollovers is can you buy one back and write one, and buy one and write one and buy one? That's all you need to worry about. It's not a big deal. Okay. Constantine, I don't understand TD Ameritrade. They let me buy back 8 calls yesterday on margin, 3,845. I turned around and sold, covered my margins, but today I cannot buy one call at 350. How is that possible? I'm not sure if they've got a settlement issue, 1 day, 2 day settlement problem. I don't know. Yeah, this I can't help you with because I'm not Ameritrade. Mandu, if anyone is using TradingView for TA, I would recommend the indicator called Golden Cross. Bobby Atkinson, what's the travel plans for this year, Uncle Bruce? Back to the other side of the pond or Japan area, see the sun before us. What do you want to do? Yeah, I don't know, my friend. We are just in this recovery mode for Anti-Gen, 3 weeks plus a day. And her physiotherapist is saying next week, the week after, you should be walking without that walker. You probably won't need it. And in about a month from now, you probably won't need your cane anymore, which would really be nice. So we're going to see how that goes. We want to build her mobility up, her stamina, her endurance. We've got to get her back into shape. When you can't walk and you can't move about, everything goes bad. Everything, including getting out of breath. Just walking 200 feet, you're out of breath. You need to sit down and rest. I mean, you got to build your stamina back. So for us to travel, we both have to be more active because I'm getting heavier as she was getting heavier. And hopefully now we can both lose some weight. She's losing weight right now, already losing weight. And I'm not far behind her. I think I've lost a few pounds, but nothing serious yet. We both have to become more active by going out for walks and stretching our legs and just building our stamina back. That would allow us to think about a trip because right now I don't want to take a trip where I need a wheelchair to go from the plane to a taxi to a hotel into a wheelchair to our room. I mean, what kind of holiday is this? I can't have that. And I don't want Jen sending me out of the room to go get breakfast at the local coffee shop around the street. Go down there, grab us a coffee and some croissants and come back. I don't want to be, I want to take her with me. Let's go together to a cafe or two. Let's go for breakfast here. Let's check out this museum, or why don't we take a walk in through this park or whatever. So that's what it's all about right now. Too early to answer that question, Bobby. Beach Boy, Uncle Bruce, even though it's a Friday grape jelly day, I just went through a great cheeseburger. It's very healthy. Had one last night, matter of fact. Alberto TD has 2-day settlement. My brother just ran into that as well yesterday, cash account. JR, here's the beauty of writing further out. You have plenty of time to fold your arms, and it relieves you of the emotional, I gotta sell or buy something, emotional roller coaster. Exactly. BW, what is wrong with the markets but good for options? Comments like this from our illustrious U.S. bankers, JP Morgan, the market can't keep rising on bad news. and more bad news is coming. I mean, duh. Alberto, they attempted to sell him on a margin account. I declined and told him no way on margin. JR, does JP Morgan realize that the markets don't listen to logic? JR, fear, greed, all emotional, all emotion. I hear you there, my friend. That's true. We're up 35 points on the Dow Jones. We're up 29 cents on GameStop, 1933. ATIP is unchanged at 45.6 cents a share. The GameStop volume, by the way, 600,000. The ATIP volume is 71,000, unchanged at the moment. Tesla, $131.12, up $3.95. SoFi, $5.55, up 14 cents. Apple's down just 6 cents right now, $135.25. We've got HPQ up 24 cents to $27.20. Google up $4.13 to $98.04. Moderna up 91 cents. Cisco down 34. Pfizer down 7 to 44.88. The IBM shares up 87 cents to 141.49. Microsoft up $4 to 36.09. ME is up 6.5 to 241.5. Rocket Lab up 4.5 to 483. 483.5. Matterport up 10 cents. 306. Smart Rent down 6.5. Spire down 1.4 cents. No, up 1.4 cents. Back to 120.4. Cyxtera down 4 cents. Amazon up 130. Home Depot down 82 cents. Netflix holding a $21 gain, 336.75 approximately at the moment. But that is off the highs of the day. Vanik 184 gain. Adobe up 737 to 349.90. Goldman up 35 to 351.10. 35 cents, that is. Boeing down $1.87. Meta is up $1.14. AMC is up about 13 cents combined between the two classes of stock. Royal Caribbean up $1.07 to 61.85. BBBY down 35 to 344. Carvana down 14. Robinhood up 13. BlackBerry up a penny. Norwegian up 39. Carnival up 24 cents. Target up $1. JP Morgan up 48, Costco up 270, Walmart up 32, Disney up 69 cents, and Nvidia up 215 with American Airlines down 1 penny. That is a majority of the stocks we're following here, with our Dow now ahead by 37 3/4 points. S&P up 21, almost 22 now. And NASDAQ up 116, with oil up 2 pennies at 80.35. We're not going anywhere there. All right. Lame Duck says, I am 226. Thank you. Dude is saying, Uncle Bruce, your lessons have been paying off. I have acquired patience on contract rights. I now refuse to take a small return on a rollover. This is it. These lessons, 14 of them we put together. I mean, each one, 1.5 hours, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours each. I think we posted the first lesson in June, July of 2021. And in front of a live audience, so people could ask questions. Jen is the moderator. You'll hear her voice if you're watching the channels, those classes. And every one of those classes was designed to help you learn more about the options market, become wiser and become a better trader and more, a more advanced trading techniques, and avoid classic mistakes that the rookies make. As a matter of fact, you're avoiding mistakes that even veterans make, because there are people who've traded options for years and don't know what they're doing. There are people out there that write options on a hunch, and they are guessing what the stock is going to do. They're writing and guessing, which is the dumb thing to do. They are completely blowing it. They think it's a game. They don't understand if they do it right, it can take them economically to a much higher level demographically, and completely change their living habits for the better. Option writing can be a very, very lucrative thing to do, especially when you're doing it out of your house or you're doing it on vacation. You're in Australia for 2 months and you leave Australia after spending a whole bunch of money and you have more money in your account than when you started. After all the expenses, pretty nice position to be in. What would be nicer than to rent an RV to tour around Australia for a month or two? Or how about get an RV and tour around New Zealand in their summertime for a month or two? My God, see all these little towns and villages and these out of the way places that just don't exist in our hometowns here. Man, how about going to Indonesia and going to Thailand and seeing Singapore and traveling to India and traveling to the pyramids in Egypt, hanging out in Rome. How about going to Italy for 3 months? Just do an Italian vacation for 3 months. There's no rush here. Boy, that would be pretty cool. Austria, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Germany, France, Spain, Portugal. Europe is just wide open to enjoy. Yeah, these classes are your ticket, but you gotta want it. You gotta want it. I can't force you to do it. You gotta want to do it. That in the pool exercise is so great, says JR. I can do a total body type workout, have the resistance of the water, my buoyancy helps my joints, win-win all around. Jen was loving it yesterday. She knows all about this, and she couldn't wait to get in that water. I'm glad to hear AJ is smiling and laughing. You know things are getting better. She was really enjoying the hot tub yesterday, the spa. She's sitting in the spa, and she's just, the heat to loosen up all the muscles, and she's trying to get off of her pain meds. So off of the pain meds, increased therapy like this. Oh yeah. Her therapist was so pleased with her yesterday, helping her with new exercises, flexing muscles and tendons and just building it up. It's the rebuild. It's underway. Alberto, Lorraine, I had a buddy get into some serious trouble using a margin account. Karim, yes, you can take a horse to water, but exactly, people have to want to improve their lives, change their outlook, change their futures, and the youngsters they kind of get it. The middle agers are sometimes a tough nut to crack. The elders, it depends on the position of the elder. I find a very willing viewers that will hook up with me for a one-on-one and say, look, I tell me what to do here. I'm really curious because in my 20s I did this, and in my 30s I did that, and in my 50s I did that, and I can't do any of that anymore because I'm now 67 and I'm 73 and I'm heading for 78. I can't do that kind of stuff anymore. I can't rebuild homes, and I can't drive a truck around town and deliver bottles. So how can I make money in the position I'm in? And hang out here for a while, they realize there's a 67-year-old telling other 60s and 70, 80-year-olds how to make your life a lot better financially, even now. This is a game changer for people, and the lessons are the way to start. Absolutely. Head to the website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head to my website. It's right here. It's in Canada. You can't miss it. stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head, get your butt over there and find my homepage. It'll pop right up at you. Here I am. You can't miss it. It's me. There I am. And then hit the tab that says classes right there. Hit that classes tab. Scroll down. Your professor is waiting for you. And here you go. Lesson number 1, lesson number 2, and lesson number 3, lesson number 4. And just go through these. Learn how this works. Oh, you could really make yourself successful, I think, if you take these on. This can't hurt you. These can't hurt you at all. Look at number 11, using poor man covered call writing strategies to quit your day job. Those youngsters out there who are still working. How about getting out of there? How about number 12, stock option rollover strategies, calls and puts? You think you need that this week? Stink offers, stink bids, and the psychology of the markets and how to maximize profits from writing stock options. I mean, come on, guys. This is what it's all about. You want to get together? Here you go. Private consultations are available. Just let me know if you want to get together, and then maybe you can go on a cruise down here. How about a little cruise? How about trading options on a cruise ship? This was a Holland America cruise that I found that was leaving, I think, Auckland, working its back to Australia. How about this? That's a 2-week cruise, guys. How would you like to do something like that? Oh, baby, that would be pretty cool. Or how about doing so well financially you can hang down here for 4 or 5 months at a time in the middle of the winter? Something wrong with this picture? Nothing that I see is wrong with that picture, except I don't see you in it. Guys, improve your wardrobe. Yeah, baby, let's go. Look at that face of that happy, satisfied option trader. Well, actually, I don't trade, but there you are. That's you. That's you. Or how about going out with your hot wife like I do? Jen and I, we're going to be doing this real soon here, going out together, going grocery shopping like that, head to a McDonald's for a fry, Good times going out together. You see, look at that. Look how happy I am. I mean, I'm a happy guy. Look at that dress. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, you got to love that. When you're 67 and your hot wife looks like that, you got to love it. I mean, talk about good times. I mean, here she is too. I see her picture everywhere. I mean, it's just everywhere. She's even in Costco. I can't get away from her. It's amazing. Anyway, guys, come on. Head over to that website and pick up some classes and get smarter. All right. Dude, I've been to Spain. I'd like to go back. Vacation and lifestyle seems pretty good to me. Spare, just in case, have a successful and relaxed day and weekend, you all. We'll catch you later. Tiff, I was skiing in Arosa, Switzerland a couple of weeks ago. Wish I could go back. Go ski until 3 p.m. Go home, watch the market open at 3:30, then have a nice walk in the snow and dinner. Now that's a life. You know that. Watch the market close at 10 p.m. Go to bed and repeat. I'll tell you, when Jen and I were in Switzerland, that last 2 weeks of our holiday in July, late June and July, that was great being in Zermatt, because we'd get up in the morning, have our wonderful breakfast, buffet breakfast in our resort, and then change into our bathing suits, put on our morning coats, head downstairs to the spa, sit in the steam room and just relax and pop into the jacuzzi pool and just bubble away. And then I get ready to see you guys at 3:30 in the afternoon. I'd go on the air until 5:30, doing the first market from Switzerland. And then at dinner, Jen and I would figure out dinner. And then I'd be on the air from 9 till 10. And at 10:15, I'm all done. And by 10:30, we're in bed. It's rinse and repeat, Monday to Friday. What a life. I kind of like that Zermatt thing. Weekends were kind of interesting because we didn't know what to do. We had to figure out, what are we going to do? It's Saturday. I'm not on the air. Well, why don't we go to that hot tub again? Why don't we sit in that nice warm water and let the water take good care of us? Maybe we'll go for a walk or something. Or Jen, we'll take Jen to the local chocolate shop and let her grab some of those. It was all good. It was lovely when Jen Jr. came to visit us for our last week over there. She joined us in Zermatt for the last week of her holiday. That was kind of nice. Yeah, I love those silly photos, says Zach. JR, here's the reason why I'm plugging the retirement accounts today. I waited too long to realize that. While the tax code in the U.S. sucks, there are some ways to hedge your retirement money using the tax code. So you young bucks and buckettes, get started early and make the tax code work for you. The peeps in Washington hate the Roth because they can't get their grubby mitts on your tax money, but use it to your advantage. Play their game against them. Zed, Uncle Bruce, I have 4 GameStop 19s expiring Jan 27th. Sold it for $175. I'd like to buy it back. Then what would you suggest I do next? Well, I would take a look at writing 20s. If you can, maybe 21s, go out a month or two and see if you can bring in much more money than that for a couple of months out, and bring in $3, $4, $5 if you can. Can you? Check it out. And then you can buy some more deep in the money calls and write on those too. Way to go. Marcus, I calculated I can make around 50 cents a month on average for each HBQ call, including all rollovers up, down, and flat. That's $6 a year against a $9.50 deep in the money call. Not as lucrative as GameStop, but it looks good. And that's assuming your stock doesn't go up. What if your stock goes up $7, $8 this year? Because remember, it was $41 last summer. What if it goes back to $40 a share from 27? You're $13 higher on your deep in the money calls. Those are going to be worth $22, $23. it is making a lot more money there. The credit sandwich. Ooh, Spain. I love Spain. Barcelona is my favorite. Madrid was just too hot in the summer, but amazing food nonetheless. Barcelona, however, I would move there. Imagine trading for Barcelona. How about grabbing an Airbnb for 2 months in Barcelona and then just grabbing a bike, and driving a bike around town and going for walks? And yeah, man, how about taking a cruise out of Barcelona and coming back to your hometown of Barcelona for a while? Take a 1-week cruise, come back a week later. Nice, JR. Also, I'm plugging Uncle Bruce's classes today. I'm plugging them. This week, I realized that knowing how to roll is essential to controlling losses and emotions. Get the classes and learn. It pays off. Oh, those are nice words. Dude, JR, you have heard of the Roth ladder. You might be able to use that method to build your Roth. Giddy on up. Very good stuff, everybody. You guys have been great to me here this week. Thank you, as always. Just wonderful people. Thank you for all of these kind words and suggestions and encouragement to Jen Jr. Appreciate that. Thank you for hanging around today. Join me later today, 3 o'clock Eastern. We're here for the final hour of this crazy day. It's option expiry day, babies. Yeah, lots of volatility coming. We'll try to follow all of it. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for those of you who are becoming members. Those of you who are upgrading your memberships, you guys are awesome. Going from one level to the gold level. Thank you for doing that. Joining me first thing in the morning and Wednesday night prime time. Love you for it. Keep it going, guys. I will see you later today at 3 o'clock Eastern as we finish up the day and finish up the week and just see what's going on. So much to cover. I set some positions this week, says JR. They moved against me. I rolled, and today things are going my way. All thanks to rolling. Dude, Barcelona is where I was so relaxed. Perfect weather for 10 days, and it rained only 1 day. JR, no, I haven't, but I will check it out. There you go. Guys, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning and early afternoon. I'll catch you at 3 o'clock later today. We'll finish this market together for the week, see how things go, and thank you all very much. In the meantime, you take care. Keep your eye on your options and your markets. We'll keep an eye over here, and I'll see you later today, everybody. Thanks again. Bye for now.